Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and we are continuing our Ashes of Outland review series, and we are looking at Mage's cards today. Again, we are reviewing both Standard and Wild on a 5-star basis, 5 being a god tier card in that basically every deck, 1-star unplayable trash that you would hate to take in Arena. So, let's take a look. We have Star Crier, 2 mana 3/1 minion. Death Rattle, draw a spell from your deck. Personally, I feel this card does not do enough. You rather generate random spells, and a lot of cards do that. You want to get value. It's kind of like Loot Hoarder in a way. You draw a spell that can be good, but I just don't think it's good enough to see the cut in Standard, and definitely not in Wild. Unimpressed by the card. I'm giving it a 1 across both formats. I just don't see where this fits in. Next, we have Netherwind Portal. As you know, Ixar's favorite card is Aluneth, so we gotta get another really good secret for Mage in Wild. Pretty much unplayable in Standard. I mean, Secret Mage isn't a thing in Standard, there's not enough to support it, and you're not running this in like Highlander, Reno Mage, it just doesn't make sense. So, 1 star in Standard right now, but in Wild, it's an insane card in Secret Mage, because guess what? You have insane secret synergy. They cost 0 all the time. And this just further puts you ahead on board. You can play this with Counterspell, you'll counter the spell and generate a random 4-drop. Secret Mage is a tempo mana cheat deck. This accomplishes exactly that. It's insane in that deck alone. But I'm going to give it a 4 just for how good it's going to be in Secret Mage. People are saying Duplicate's better than this. Duplicate is garbage when it doesn't get you tempo like this card will. Trust me, you will just not lose board, which you already struggle to lose in Secret Mage, and you're going to kill your opponent. Insane card in Wild, garbage in Standard. Ixar, you got a new toy. Good job, buddy. And then next we have a new 8-mana spell, Deep Freeze. Freeze an enemy, summon 2 3/6 water elementals. Freeze an enemy is worth about 0 mana, 1 mana. Freezing Potion says it's worth 0 mana, and water elementals is worth 4 each. So basically it's a fair price for the deal, which makes it In Standard, you might run it in your Reno Mage. You can treat it out with the Dragon Caster, and there's a limited amount of value spells you want to pull out in the deck, so maybe you run it as a 1-of, but I still think it's too weak there, but I'll give it a 2 in Standard. In Wild, you're never playing this. You're randomly generating it and getting pissed off that it's stuck in your hand. Other than that, it's too fair. The card's fair. Fair cards just don't see play, right? Especially in Wild, so I'll give it a 1. I'm not even saying it's bad, it's just fair. That's not Hearthstone. Next, we have Incanter's Flow, a 2-mana spell. Reduce the cost of the spells in your deck by 1. People are like, oh great, Quest Mage, more support. You're not hard running this in Quest Mage. Most of your spells cost 0 because of Sorcerer's Apprentice. And you just don't need this. But you'll randomly generate it, and it'll be really good when you randomly generate it. In Standard, I don't see a deck where this fits in. You could do like Cyclone stuff and like Elemental stuff, but I don't see it. So in Standard and Wild, although the card is good, it's just I don't see it worth the spot because you just have Apprentice, you have Mana Cheat already, you just don't need it. And it's not value, so I'm going to give it a 2. It's a good card, I just don't think it makes the cut in either format. Then we have Font of Power, 1 mana, discover a Mage minion. If your deck has no minions, keep all 3. What Mage deck can survive without running minions? Right now, nothing. The support they've made, no, it's not happening. This is trash. You're going to randomly generate it from Magic Trick or Glyph or Cyclone, and you'll play it sometimes, but you're never putting this card in your deck if you actually expect to win games. I'll give it a 1 in both Standard and Wild. Just crap. We have 2 mana 2/3 minion Apexis Smuggler. After you play a secret, discover a spell. In Standard, this is like a value card you could throw into like Reno Mage. I don't know. But you don't run that many secrets, and you just get 1 spell. You already have better stuff, so meh. It's a good body with infinite value, potentially, because you can discover a secret that can discover a secret that can discover a secret. But it's just not good enough. It's so... You have to play... It's okay, but I don't think you're putting it in your deck. It's a 2. And then in Wild, people are like, whoa, more Secret Mage support. Netherwind Portal, yes. This card, no. Secret Mage in Wild does not give a flying shit about value. It is a smart deck that cheats mana tempos you and burns you out. This doesn't do any of that. Yeah, you can play this with a 0-mana secret and get a spell, and sometimes it's burn, but usually it's just not that useful, and you just rather play stuff that's tempo, burn itself. So don't see it in Wild or in any value deck, because that doesn't exist, so I'll give it a 1 in Wild. It just doesn't have a home. It just doesn't. Then we have Apexis Blast, 5 mana spell, deal 5 damage if your deck has no minions. Get a random 5-cost minion. So it's Firelands Portal for 2 less at the small cost of not running minions. Just like Font of Power, you can't win games without minions right now in Mage. These are the only 2 cards in Mage that give you that upside. It's not enough to justify it. It's a good card if it's active, so maybe you'll discover it randomly late in the game and that's good. It can be a good card if you need some extra burn when you get it randomly, but you're not putting this in your deck. It's a 1-star card in Standard. It's a 1-card start in Wild. It's just not there yet. Maybe in the future, but right now, absolutely not. Then we have a new 1-mana legendary spell, Vocation. Holy shit, this is really good in Quest Mage. It's fill your hand with random mage spells. At the end of your turn, discard them. So, you have like just a couple of cards in your hand. You play this, you got like 8 spells to pick from. And some of these spells can create other spells, and the spells you create don't get discarded. So in Standard, you could just play this as like a value bomb in Reno Mage. That's pretty good. A Tempo Mage deck might be able to utilize this. A Cyclone, like Elemental Condor's Mage could utilize this. I think it could see play in Standard. So I'm giving it a 3. In Wild, you're running this in Quest Mage. You can complete the quest with this card alone. 1 mana. Complete the quest. What the hell? It's insane and just definitely not made with Wild in mind. Holy crap. And then, yeah, you can also randomly generate it off a magic trick and glyph. And it's just crazy. And you cheat it with Apprentice. It's just mind-blowingly how good this is in Quest Mage. And guess what? Quest Mage is the best deck in Wild. And it's getting an insane tool. So, I too welcome our Quest Mage overlords. I kind of helped make that problem. And I'm trying to help kill it now, but good God, we're in for a Quest Mage nightmare. I mean, it's a 5-star card in Wild. It goes into Arena Quest Mage. It goes into Quest Mage. It's so freaking good. Why? Why would you do this? Why? Ugh. Next, we have Astromancer Solarian. 2 mana, 3/2. Spell damage +1, and then you shuffle a Silurian Prime into your deck. And the Silurian Prime is a 7 mana, 7/7 spell damage +1. Cast 5 random mage spells to enemy targets if possible. So, literally, like, the only downside I can think of is you conjure their minion. But overall, this card is absolute batshit crazy. The 2 mana, 3/2. Good tempo, good early play. It's fine. Really good. Spell damage, great. And then you play a 7/7 that does insane shit. Can get you value, can pyro, clear the board. It's like, there's barely a downside. It's just, this card is one of the most powerful cards I think they've ever made. It's an auto-include in basically every Standard Mage deck right now, because why the hell would you not run this? It's brokenly good. And in Wild, you just don't run it in, like, regular Quest Mage because it doesn't synergize with the deck. You might even run it in Secret Mage. You might. It's probably good enough because it's a tempo card. It's tempo, and that's what the deck does. Like, it's even good with Aluneth because it dies and you cycle and you draw that card. Like, it's just insane. So in Standard, I'm giving it a 5. In Wild, I'm giving it a 5. It sees play in, like, any Mage deck outside of regular quests. It's just, wow, what a card. Holy shit. And then lastly, speaking of cards that are insane, just kidding, Imprisoned Overseer, 3 mana, 4/5 demon. It goes dormant for 2 turns. When it awakens, it deals 2 damage to all enemy minions, so it's like, not volcanic, but like Consecration Holy Nova without the face damage. It's a good AoE. I just don't know if it's really needed. In Standard, I guess that we are lacking AoE a bit, but it's something your opponent can really play around, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Not quite sure, but I think it'll see experimentation with in Reno Mage, but I don't think it'll make the cut. So I think it'll be a 2 in Standard, and in Wild, you have way better options. It's just meh. I'll give it a 1, but yeah. Mage is getting some absolute crazy shit in Wild for some decks that are already completely broken and just meta polarizing and oppressive, so let's hope we get Encuesta Mage nerf sooner than later. And in Standard, Arena Mage is a pretty good deck. It's getting some pretty crazy stuff. So yeah, Mage, you're going to see a lot of Mage in both formats, so look forward to that. If you like the review, you like the video, please like and subscribe. We'll hit you up with another review tomorrow, so tune in for that. And yeah, stay salty, my friends.